The cryptocurrency market just had an important week. Bitcoin began around $65,000 but struggled to hold that level. Ethereum dipped below $900, while XRP fought to stay at $1. Meanwhile, Solana showed strength compared to major coins. Two crucial events in Washington highlighted regulation issues again. The Senate delayed progress on the Clarity Act. The SEC canceled a vital meeting about crypto regulations. What does this mean for investors? Let's break it down. Before we dive in, remember, this video is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. Cryptocurrency markets are highly volatile. Conduct your own research before investing. Now, let's look at the market's big picture. Investors kept an eye on Bitcoin for a breakout this week. Instead, it lost momentum, dropping to around $62,800. Ethereum traded near $1,878, and Solana at about $75. Market cap sat at approximately $2.24 trillion. Regulations, institutional demand, and liquidity influenced market movement. Now, let's discuss Bitcoin's struggle this week. Several factors impacted its performance. Institutional demand appeared weaker. Investors awaited clarity on U.S. regulations. Bitcoin became more connected to traditional financial markets. Interest rates and liquidity also influenced prices. Understanding Bitcoin today requires looking beyond crypto itself. Next, let's talk about the Clarity Act. This legislation aims to clarify how digital assets are regulated. Regulatory uncertainty remains a huge issue for companies. They want to understand applicable rules. But this week, the Senate did not advance the act. A procedural vote is now set for September 15th. This delay creates uncertainty for investors hoping for clarity. Now, what about XRP? The Clarity Act delay impacts XRP directly. After the Senate's decision, XRP stayed near $1. Regulatory clarity can influence investor confidence. Bigger announcements in September could affect XRP and the market. Then, another key story emerged. The SEC unexpectedly canceled a meeting on August 14th. This meeting aimed to address a new crypto regulatory framework. The cancellation adds more uncertainty for the industry. Investors hoped for clearer rules, but now they must wait longer. What was the SEC about to discuss? The proposal included topics like fundraising and exemptions for crypto firms. Companies need defined rules to operate confidently. However, the canceled meeting leaves many questions unanswered. Now let's turn to Ethereum. Ethereum struggled throughout the week as well. It began trading around $1,900 before dipping below that level. The psychological $1,900 area remains crucial. Sustained movement above could improve sentiment. Yet, competition remains high in the market. Now, let's highlight Solana. While major coins struggled, Solana showed surprising strength. Reports indicate Solana led weekly crypto ETF inflows. ETFs allow traditional investors to enter the crypto space. This reveals high institutional interest in Solana. However, strong inflows do not guarantee price increases. Let's recap XRP's situation again. XRP hovered near the $1 level all week. This round number attracts traders' attention. The regulatory news influences its price movements. Investors will watch closely for signs of independent strength. Now, let's cover the ETF market. This week highlighted the growing significance of cryptocurrency ETFs. They allow investors to gain exposure without directly buying coins. However, Bitcoin isn't the only focus anymore. Solana shows promise, along with XRP and Ethereum. Which crypto can attract the most capital? That question is becoming crucial. Chainlink and Shiba Inu also made news this week. Altcoins vary greatly in behavior based on market conditions. Investors should monitor liquidity and market activity closely. Next, let's touch on tokenization. Traditional assets are increasingly represented on blockchains. BlackRock is expanding its tokenization efforts on Ethereum. As this trend grows, it will impact various financial assets. Now, we need to understand the takeaway from this week. Uncertainty is the main message for investors. Institutional adoption is rising, but clarity isn't here yet. Bitcoin's momentum slowed, while Ethereum and XRP struggled. Meanwhile, Solana showed promise. As we move into next week, watch these 3 areas. First, can Bitcoin reclaim the $65,000 mark? Second, keep an eye on regulatory developments from Washington. Lastly, observe ETF flows into different cryptocurrencies. What's the bullish scenario? Bitcoin regains momentum, boosting market sentiment. Increased ETF inflows and regulatory clarity could spark positivity. Now for the bearish scenario. If Bitcoin falls further and uncertainty persists, we could see defensive moves. Volatility in altcoins might increase as well. Investors need to remain cautious about both possibilities. To summarize this week, Bitcoin lost steam, fluctuating around $62,000. Ethereum stayed below $1,900. XRP defended $1, while Solana showed relative strength. The Senate delayed progress on the Clarity Act, and the SEC canceled its scheduled meeting on regulations. For investors, it's clear. Regulation and institutional interest are key. The next major move might come from Bitcoin, but the catalyst could arise from Washington. That wraps up our crypto market recap for August 10-15, 2026. If you enjoyed this summary, subscribe for weekly updates. We'll cover Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and more. Stay informed and make educated decisions. Thanks for watching.